everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Ben Moore.
Hi.
Ian Hink.
Hi.
And Brandon Jones.
Hi.
All right, Brandon.
You coming after me, Jones?
Yeah, what was that
I was
about?
saying hi.
Okay.
I'm also very excited to be here. And if I haven't greeted you yet, hello.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you for that.
I believe all three of us have at one point had a conversation this evening. So
From the
Yeah.
panel, I will need each of you to give me a number between 1 and 25. No Damiani fractions.
11.
16.
13.
Ben, you nailed it. The number is 11.
Ooh.
Damn.
Ben, what you've won is the Prove It ticket.
That's seat.
Now, at any point
It's the
during the
Prove It seat.
podcast, you may demand that someone proves it after they've said a statement you disagree with or seems unlikely. If they cannot prove it, you get some werehogs. If they do, in fact, prove it, they get werehogs. And we take them away from you.
But Kyle's the judge, so, take that however
Yeah.
you want.
I like this.
Yeah, but you can also ask me to prove it. You can totally ask me to prove it as well.
What I love about the Prove It ticket is
Yeah.
that we've got access to 3x5 stock cardboard, the thicker cards. We use them for our bets.
I had such a nice one last
And the
week.
Prove It ticket is made on some kind of weird diagonal graph paper.
It's not
with,
even laminated.
folded
I
over,
made a really nice Prove It ticket for last week. Damiani rolled it up and lost it. So this is a
yeah,
temporary.
you gotta laminate it.
This is a
Were you-
temporary Prove It ticket.
Indestructible.
Were you out of McDonald's Happy Meal toys back at home? You didn't have any extras? That could be the Prove It,
Oh, you want a totem?
Disney thing
Oh.
or whatever.
I like it being a ticket, a Prove It ticket.
Ah, okay.
I like that.
Yeah. You want to do some corrections?
Sure.
I'd love to.
Begin corrections music, please. Okay, so Batman's crowd play has two modes. One that you described, Jones, where people get to vote and the player sees the vote but decides on their own. And it also has a mode where the choice with the most votes is automatically selected.
Everyone wins.
Everybody wins!
Yay.
That's
So wait,
pretty
that's
cool.
viewers at home can vote?
Yeah,
on
we can
Twitch?
even set it up so viewers at home could vote.
Oh, that's
Though
kinda
they'd be 30
cool.
seconds behind us, so I'm not really sure that would work very well.
Whatever,
Not
man.
for 99% of the things you have to do in that game, yeah.
Yeah. The 3DS's extra Circle Pad add-on is called the Circle Pad Pro. Jones, you're nodding like you knew that.
Nobody asked me. Well, this is the thing. No, seriously. Sometimes,
way.
sometimes these are clarifications. Sometimes they're that conversation you had,
Yeah.
here's another interesting fact.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's true. We
Accurate.
didn't. It would be a
Accurate.
correction if we said that wasn't true.
It's called the Square Pad Minus.
Is if one of us had said, isn't it the circle pad something? And we were like, no, it's not. Then that would be a correction because we were saying the incorrect name. But it's when you guys bring something up and I'm like, oh yeah, the Circle Pad Pro. And then later it's that was called the Circle Pad Pro. I'm like, I didn't realize I was supposed to dive in on that correction.
Always say
And
everything.
I know I'm sounding smug, but but how many 3DS reviews did I read back in the day at game
Okay.
trailers that said Circle Pad Pro again?
Probably no more
That
than
was a
two.
Damiani special.
would
Everything he
assume you
reviewed,
did
he
more-
always mentioned.
Oh my god. This game is enhanced by the Circle Pad Pro. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was always like,
I
if you
remember,
want
yeah.
it think it better, but it's okay without it.
I think,
always that sentence.
I remember maybe it was Monster Hunters, one of those where
Yeah.
it's the camera is pretty bad without the Circle Pad Pro.
Wow. Okay.
I remember cutting a review that said something like that.
Jones,
I knew I liked
Don't
it.
quote me on that.
I'm sorry for bringing it
You
up,
liked
Jones.
me?
I do now.
I can never tell. I think you hate me most of the time.
Most of the time.
Jones, we
But I
had
like
a
it.
lot of people
Like the
come
viewers at
to
home.
defend you for irregardless. We had
That
lot
is
of people
not a
come and-
word.
No, that's not.
No.
They
No.
say it is. They say it is.
No.
I'm
it's a
accepting
word.
one thing
No.
and rejecting another one. No, it's
No.
not. It's very much not.
No.
It appears in the dictionary. They tell me this.
No.
I wholesheartedly believe it is a word.
Yeah.
The dictionary is stupid and wrong.
Oh boy.
Irregardless, they probably just added it like the fake definition of
Yeah,
ironic.
that was one of those. So many
Yeah.
people said it that they're
Yeah.
like, let's just put it in.
Let's just put it in.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
easier to put it
systematic
in than
death
correct
of the
everybody.
English language.
Okay.
No, do it. Talk
It's a
about the
living
English
language.
Ben.
Yeah, but that's
Isn't
stupid.
the whole point of language that it changes
love
over
it.
time based on how people use it?
But they're
Is
two
that-
similar words that mean the same thing. If you have regular and irregular, they're opposites.
Flammable
Regardless
means-
and irregardless can't mean the same
Yeah.
thing.
Inflammable
Then the ear
means
doesn't mean
flammable?
anything.
What a country.
Xbox One backwards compatibility was not a switch, but it's lots of hard work. Here's a fair correction. I was praising the Wii U for loading games straight without going to the home menu first. Many people pointed out that it actually is still faster to load up a PS4 or an Xbox One and just go to your most recent game. Despite the fact that you have to go to a home menu, it's still faster than...
That's terrific.
Yeah, you're right.
The Wii U is the
Suck it,
slowest,
Kyle.
You're right.
slowest thing ever made.
Finally, my favorite comment or correction. Metal Sonic is Sonic CD. There is a robot Sonic in Sonic 2, but it isn't Metal Sonic. End corrections music.
Boom.
I'd like
take
to
it.
apologize for yelling directly into the mic about that irregardless thing.
I'm gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna hear about
Regardless,
it. I'm gonna hear about it.
Yeah, regardless of what he does.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear about that later.
Regardless, I'm still sorry.
So, weird news week. You know, it's August. It's like, what's
this
going
August?
on right now?
We're in it.
We're
It's
in
happened.
August.
My God.
We're 2 days in.
The dog days of summer. I'll tell you what.
I got Florence and the Machine stuck in my head when you said that.
Sing it.
The dog days are over.
It's dog days.
I know, I'm saying dog.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, dog. I don't remember how that song goes really, now that I think about it.
I've been in a Florence and the Machine kick recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
What a strange kick.
Yeah.
Dude,
People think I only listen to Guns N' Roses.
Wait,
Not true.
wait. Ida Victoria. Or Adia Victoria. Yes. Trust me.
I have not heard of that.
Adia
I'll check it out.
Victoria.
I'll check it out.
My God. Dead Eyes. Good entry song. Good stuff.
Normally I wouldn't allow this, but hey, it's August.
It's August. There's
Like, what
nothing
else
to
are
talk
we
about.
talking about? What
Check
else are
out
we
the
talking about?
Tiny Desk. She's great.
So here's what happened this week is Digital Foundry, who's part of Eurogamer. Digital Foundry is probably the best in the biz at determining frame rates and resolutions. They get very technical about video games.
It's basically not us.
Not us.
The exact
extremely,
opposite of
yeah. We cannot communicate with them because they would just be over our heads the entire time. They got their hands on an Xbox One S.
Ooh.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thing about the Xbox One S. It increases the performance of some Xbox One games. Games run better on the Xbox One S than they do on the Xbox One. I'm going to get particular for a sec before we start delving in. Project Cars, which has an unlocked frame rate, does 7 frames per second better during gameplay and 11 frames per second better during replays. So whereas it would run 48 frames per second on the old Xbox One, 55 now on the Xbox One S. All right, I'll just keep going. Hitman, 8.1% faster. Resident Evil 5, 2.5% faster. A little, like, marginally better. Rise of the Tomb Raider and Batman Arkham Knight both ran smoother. Interestingly enough, Fallout 4, nothing. Same. Runs the same on both.
Slightly worse, actually.
I'll read their thing. In some cases, the frame drops are literally identical, suggesting a memory or CPU bottleneck, something the additional GPU power is not going to address. So, okay, basically, Xbox One S has a better GPU to allow for HDR. We talked a ton about HDR. You know, it's more important than resolution. HDR is really incredible. In order to do that without any drawbacks, they had to have a better GPU. But games with no HDR are running better.
Huh.
So, what we have here, I want to know if this is a big deal, because this is unprecedented. With this whole thing, this is so crazy. We've seen many slim consoles in our lifetimes. Probably PS2 had the first slim console. Never before has there been such an performance boost in a slim console. Is this a big deal or no? Is this like just
To me-
Kyle, come on, that's just stupid numbers.
To me, the thing that seems like a big deal about this is that Microsoft isn't singing it from the mountaintops.
So yeah,
They're not like, yeah, it performs even old games. Like,
Let's
that
dig in.
seems like a bigger deal than, you know.
You went straight to the second part of this conversation, but I guess it's the whole of
Sorry.
the conversation, to be honest. After E3, when this thing was just announced, they said, no, there will be no performance boost. I have a very funny quote from Albert Pinello. He says, after E3, I promise it won't even show up. It will have no impact on games at all. Literally no impact. They will be identical. It's nothing. It is literally nothing. End quote.
Who is this?
I think he's head of planning at Xbox.
So he works at Xbox.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He sounds
It
like
is
pissed
literally
about it.
nothing.
Literally nothing. And so Digital Foundry interviewed him now, saying, hey, look, there's a performance boost. And he says that they didn't want to sell it because it might... it's not enough to sell, basically.
I could
It
see.
was
I
the-
mean,
I think
like,
there's all sorts of reasons why you don't sell
7
it.
frames per second. It like, yeah, okay, but it's not like it's not worth making a commercial about it because it's not like average user at home is not going to notice that with their naked eyes. Probably.
Did he end that quote with "So I lied"? Like,
So I lied. Yeah. Albert Pinello does stuff like that.
That is a little
That's
weird though
that's a
that he was
Pinello.
that vehement about it.
Yeah.
the thing is it. I think for most people it isn't a big deal, and the reason I say that is because of the Scorpio. Like, I care about frame rate a lot, and I know people are going to throw some reviews at my face, but that's fine. Anyway, I care about frame rate a lot, and if there was nothing on the horizon. Like maybe it's like, okay, maybe when it's convenient or lowest price, I will get this new Xbox S to get that little bit of a performance boost. But if something else is coming out that's going to be more significant, why would you get this middle step? You know,
That's the thing.
It's
That's
overshadowing.
why I'm so confused about this on the whole. Like,
Yeah.
their E3 press conference started with saying, hey, we're doing a Slim. And then at the end, they're like, we're working on some crazy new Xbox 1.5. I'm like, okay, then why buy the S? And then B, they also said in that podcast, if you've got a PC, everything on the Xbox will run on that too. So if you've got a PC, just don't buy any of them. I understand, like, if you don't want a PC, then yeah, get an Xbox. But like, it's very weird the way that they did all that.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess the only part of this conversation that's different from after E3 is that the Xbox One S has a slight boost, right? And I want to know if that's so. I get Pinello. Normally, I'm like, man, this guy's just spinning weird lies. Here, I get him, Ben. I get why he would keep it a secret that there's a slight boost, because it does muck the message.
This makes total sense to me.
What
across
does?
the board. Him. I mean, maybe not the lies. Like maybe not like repeating the same thing 5 times. Like
Yeah.
you might have.
Literally
this is
nothing.
literally nothing.
Yeah.
Is a bad quote for anyone at any tier of the Xbox development process to
Yeah.
say about any part of the console. But it's like you're saying, how do you sell this?
Yeah.
How do you also support it? Like that's great that Digital Foundry. So it's great that Digital Foundry put this together. But like, do you really think people at Xbox are like putting in Gears of War? Are you putting in like Dragon Age Inquisition,
Right.
testing it? Okay, putting in this game. Like they don't know. Like I'm sure he probably saw that report and was like, really? Cool.
Yeah, he
we
said-
don't know. That's not why we're making this. That's not why we made the changes to the console.
Yeah.
So you're asking me right now. You're asking me for that soundbite. Is it better? I'm telling you right now, it's not, because I don't want you to write that story. I don't want you to go running with it. And they go, yeah, they're a little bit better. What does a little bit mean? We checked them 7 frames. You call that a little bit, Microsoft? You failed. It's like you're just inviting everybody to just check the numbers, to check the tape, to go, oh, actually no, we found out it's 6 frames instead of 7. Microsoft lied. And then it's like, well, we didn't really know. We weren't doing research on that.
Yeah.
So we just don't know. And so it's just not, it does not behoove us to add it. And then if it comes up later that it's better, that only works in our favor. Versus trying to get ahead of that news, trying to sell it, doing that poorly, having people that aren't at the level where we at, that are a little bit lower in the stores, actually selling the product, getting the information wrong.
Yeah.
And then we get misquoted, and then, it's bad
Ben's
news.
got a counterpoint locked and loaded.
Do it.
No, the thing is I agree with everything you're saying, and from a business perspective, I can see all of those steps. But where it falls apart to me is it's like it still feels disingenuous, and I think a lot of people are going to see that headline that is going to circulate, and it's going to create this air of like falseness, like you said no, zero change, so adamant about it, and then it comes out, like, regardless of what your business reasons are, that was a thing that happened. That's like. Isn't it better to try to, ahead of time, make a message that you're like, okay, I know we're going into a sticky situation here. I know it's going to be confusing. Let's iron this out. Let's find a way to make this explainable so we don't have to, like, go through this, have this article come out eventually, and then have to talk about it. Like,
I wonder,
Digital Foundry's headline says Xbox One has a performance boost.
Right.
Like, that's what the headline
which
is.
is like
right? Yeah.
negligible.
maybe you don't have that headline at E3, but you're still getting that headline later, and
Yeah, I
doesn't
hear what
it
you're
look
saying.
worse after the fact?
Well, and also, like, I mean, kind of what Jones said, like, they probably didn't. It wasn't their focus or intent, probably, to give it a performance boost.
It wasn't.
So as
Right,
far
it was
as
just
he,
HDR,
as
yeah.
far as he knows, he doesn't know. What he probably should have said is like, I mean, I don't. There shouldn't be. If there is, it's unintentional. But that's not the intent of this machine.
But
it's
your
maybe
that's
there
what you're
is.
selling.
That's
It's your
what he should
product.
probably say. Is just be like, yeah, well, I mean, there could be, but I mean, that's not why we're doing this. Like, it's unintentional if there is. Like, it's got a better GPU, so like, maybe, but I mean, even that though, then people would run with it. You can't win.
You can't
really.
win.
You can't say
This
anything.
seems like an unwinnable situation.
You cannot
yeah.
say anything.
They literally came out with a stronger console, and people are angry at them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, how dare you?
here's the thing
It's
is,
like
I think
was
it's more complicated than that.
But
Yeah,
also,
why
it's
are people
okay to
angry?
be.
I don't know.
It's okay to be angry because suddenly your Xbox One is less good than the Xbox One S.
sure.
I get why you could possibly be angry.
When they said it wasn't going to, like, they
Right,
created that feeling of like, okay, I am satisfied with my purchase with a regular Xbox One. Oh no, wait, it's not as good. What
Right.
that feeling they gave me, they took it away. Like, it's very strange. It's
The thing to me is like, like, let's say I bought a Honda Civic Hybrid 2016 in January, and then you bought a Honda Civic Hybrid 2016 in August. And in between then, they made the air conditioner fan slightly more efficient. They didn't say anything about it, but like I ran tests and I'm like, your air conditioner is more powerful than mine. And now I'm just like, it wasn't their intent to make a better, like that version
I'm really
of
trying
the,
to connect this back.
I'm just saying like it's a different machine that's smaller, like thinner. Who gives a shit? It shouldn't exist in the first place. I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're talking about like Honda Civics. Let's say you're talking about like sports cars. And you're speaking to a totally different crowd
Someone
that is
cares.
way into.
That's
like,
a good point.
If you were getting like, I don't know anything about cars, so forgive me. But if you were
Let's
getting
use
a Ferrari,
let's use an analogy we understand.
Yeah.
Like a video game
Like
console.
spaceships.
Yeah. You know what? I just thought of another Slim, a historical Slim. The NES had a cool Slim console, the top loader. Mm-hmm. Y'all ever
yeah.
seen that thing?
Yeah.
That might be the first ever Slim. I'm sure there's some Atari Slim I'll get corrected on. Fine.
And
But, like,
television.
Give it to me.
But like the whole point of doing Slims isn't it just so that the like Sony when they did this Slim place? I mean, correct? I'm asking. I don't.
Sure,
I'm
sure,
not
sure.
saying this. Isn't the whole reason that they do it because they made a cheaper way of making it?
Yeah.
And, like,
Manufacturing
that's-
costs are less.
That's what they do, and they release a new version, so they're like, we don't have to keep making that crappy old one.
Yeah.
And like, I wonder if they've ever been different before, if they've always been exactly the same, or if maybe like some of the like, well, they changed the PlayStation because like they lost the emotion chip or whatever, and like they lost certain other functionality, and like, so there are changes. It's just weird, like, I don't know. I don't see why it's an issue.
Jones, what is that note you just took? I gotta know, man.
It's none of your damn business.
Whoa. During that conversation, Jones grabbed a pen, like a jolt hit his mind.
Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
That was for podcast halftime, so I don't. Well,
So it'll come.
I'm correcting in advance. No, it's so I don't say that these are our sponsors for July.
Okay.
I say August.
Oh, okay.
So I just crossed out the word July. I wrote down
good
August.
change.
So sad that I
It's a
asked.
good
I really thought
change.
you
Behind the
suddenly had a
scenes.
great idea. I thought
I did have a
something
great
Ian said
idea.
really
That was
sparked-
not to say July.
Okay.
That was the great idea. I had.
I support you.
Thank you. I like.
I mean, that's a big deal. That's okay.
Stop playing games with my mind.
So, okay, let's talk about let's be sympathetic to Xbox. Let's be on their team. Let's be on their marketing team. How do we advertise the Xbox One S? Do we keep this part still a secret that there is a slight performance boost to old games, or do we advertise that?
I don't think you advertise.
I gotta go
don't
with
think-
what they did.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad scenario every way, and I would rather, if there's any really tech-specific information. Again, if we're talking frames here, we're literally talking frames of a second.
Yeah.
Is what this is being measured in,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's that small, I would be terrified making an official announcement as a company as to the performance of the console.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd be just like, I don't know. It's a case-by-case basis, and what do you want us at Xbox right now to do? Do you want us to work on making this console better, or do you want us to put in every single Xbox One game and test to make sure that it's not happening, or, you know?
You could do an ad that's a joke, where you like make light of it and you say like, it's accidentally slightly better, but it's negligible.
Oh my God!
Like
you
you got the
make a
Midas
commercial-
touch.
yeah.
Anything we work on just
Hey,
gets better.
We accidentally made this thing slightly better.
You're in on it. Yeah, just get like some comedian to host
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
basically.
like whoever, TJ Miller or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
it's
it's
just
just
like,
more frames in my Gears
just
of
like,
War.
oh my God, there's accidentally 6 faster frames on that car hitting that thing.
that is exactly how to do that.
That's the way to handle it.
Yes.
Every
You
time
win.
there's a stupid story, you just make a dumb joke out of it because like the world is dumb.
Yeah.
And there are bigger things going on.
but if they did that and they got out in front of it in that sort of self-aware way, none of this would have happened.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Ben's still.
Also,
upset.
I think the real thing is don't make like such equivocal like just like across the board like don't be so vehement about things that are not that important. Don't say like nothing, never,
Yeah.
no change, nothing, garbage, nothing. Don't be like that. Just be like, yeah, I don't think so, but I mean, I guess it's theoretically possible, but don't worry about it. It's not our intent.
I
Like
just,
if you say that, you know, if everyone on the planet is always milquetoast, no one will ever get hurt.
But then nobody gets excited.
You shut up.
Okay. What's up, Ben?
the thing is I think if you isolate this incident,
Okay.
and you say it's only 6. Like you can rationalize and say, you know what, this actually isn't that big of a deal. There's no reason to raise a stink over it. The thing is this incident? This is not the first time this generation that Microsoft has had poor communication problems, right?
Sure.
The Windows thing was very confusing to people. The Scorpio thing was very confusing to people. The DRM was very confusing to people. Like, this is a little thing that is being added, I think, to a mountain, you know? And I think that's why it frustrates me more than it normally would.
Okay, I get that. You never break up for the one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a slow death.
It's a slow death. It's always a bunch of things.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, you defended that well. I understand that. Hold on, I'm sorry, do you hear that? It sounds like it's podcast halftime!
Easy Allies, podcast halftime. The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of August.
You did it.
Michael Kazachenko. Mango. Sweet Justice. A sound design company based in England that's worked on Battlefield, Mirror's Edge, and Call of Duty. You can see their work at www.sweetjustice.audio. Scorn. An atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. YoYoTricks.com. A tutorial website for teaching people how to yo-yo. To buy yo-yos and learn how to get started, visit YoYoTricks.com or their YouTube channel. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
John's great vibe on
That was.
Just gotta change it up, you know?
I felt like a public radio.
Yeah.
It did.
It's very good sponsors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Thank you to
I'm
our
going to be
sponsors.
really sad when Scorn comes out.
I know, yeah. Well,
I mean, I guess they could still advertise after they came.
Sure. DLC, they could have that. you
Oh,
know?
yeah. And
Maybe we'll get some sweet merch or something. Like
I
when
do
when
intend
the
to
game
pick
launches.
up a yo-yo as well.
Yeah.
And
We
a
won't be
mango.
reviewing Scorn, but we can still stream it.
Ian, were you
Yeah.
here for the episode where I had a yo-yo?
No,
I did a yo-yo trick.
I
You
heard
did.
about
You
it.
did.
I
It was
really
great.
wish that I
Yeah.
had seen it. Were you good at it?
No.
I've
But I did
been,
do one
uh,
trick. I did do one yo-yo trick.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm okay at the kendama, which is that, like, Japanese ball and string with the, like, 2 cups and a spike on the end.
No, thank you.
2 cups and a spike.
Yeah.
I think a more
Are we not doing this
a
anymore?
more modern reference for public radio is just nerdy, confident voice. Like, I went to the ice cream shop, and everyone there was very kind to me. And as I looked over the various flavors, my mouth did begin to salivate. How could I ever choose? And then you just hear some
Yeah.
dumb, like, sound effects, and just, oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm like the food podcast.
They like,
Yeah.
they
Like-
like fade up the crowd noise right there.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I hate that.
The softer's like, and then you take the ricotta, and you put it, and you put it out. You put that in the oven about 350 degrees. Just put that in for 30 minutes. Oh, that sounds really good. It is really good. It's really great. It's good for good for a nice cold evening. You
No,
know,
I
have
think you
some
gotta update your
lasagna.
public
Goat
radio
cheese always
reference.
gives
It's
you
too
gas.
soft. It's too soft. It's honestly nerdy, confident voices these days.
And then it's like the guy who's like reporting from somewhere else where he's like always just kind of like, yeah, the situation out here is pretty serious.
Yeah.
I'll do that next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Great. So,
Ben, you got
Jones-
any radio voices?
Yeah, let's hear a radio voice.
Or like a podcast?
I
You listen to a lot of
I don't
podcasts.
like
What,
any
are
of my voices.
what are the boys on your
Like any of my
what
voices.
are the boys on your Hearthstone podcast sound like? What do they sound like?
Well, I have quit cold turkey on Hearthstone. My Hearthstone.
Woo-wee.
I've been really getting
Okay,
into
let's do
watching-
Well,
this.
there's a story.
No, let's do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I mean, why'd you
Recovering
quit cold
Hearthstone.
turkey on Hearthstone?
Oh man.
And why not sooner?
So, I still think it's a good game.
Okay.
But I have reached a point, as I do sometimes with games, where it's not that it's not changing. It's not that interesting things aren't happening to it. There's a new expansion coming out. I'm not getting
Very
it.
soon.
I'm not gonna buy it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's
happening.
like the Bell and Beast Feast one, right?
It's the Karazhan.
What night in
Yeah.
Karazhan?
Yeah.
It-
That-
It's cool.
That's about Beauty and the Beast?
He reminded me of the
There-
Beast guy before he turned into the Beast. He looks like that to me.
There is a
Sorry.
there are Beauty and the Beast references actually in the adventure. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Well, that must be why I thought that.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I'm gonna try to explain this in a way that makes sense. So
Okay.
there's sometimes I like a lot of video games, and sometimes I will get particularly obsessed with one video game, and that was Hearthstone for a very long time. And I loved it, and I got to a point that I very rarely get to with games where I felt like I had a level of competency and confidence with it, and that was very fun for me. It's just I've realized that I've sort of reached this ceiling where every time I play it, like there are slight tweaks to decks, but the general things that I'm seeing are the same again and again and again. And so I feel like I'm learning less, I'm getting less out of it, and so I would rather spend that time trying out something else. And so like right now I'm getting really into Pokemon, and I haven't played Pokemon seriously in like 15 years, and learning about all of these complicated mechanics, that's what's fun for me.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was into with Hearthstone. And now that I'm not trying to say like I'm an expert at Hearthstone or that I'm a pro or anything, but I reached a level of understanding where I was like, okay, I'm familiar with this. Now let's go get familiar with something else. Like I don't want to get locked into a rut where I'm only experiencing one thing again and again and again, and like constantly getting diminishing returns.
Wow.
So,
Jones, are you going to try that new expansion?
I've been out of Hearthstone for a bit
the other important thing to say
because I had another game just replace it basically.
I've spent
What was it?
Galaxy
too
of
much
Heroes.
money
Oh,
on
God.
Hearthstone.
I'll talk about it if you want me to.
Nope.
I need to stop spending money on Hearthstone. Like that's the other
Yeah, you
reality.
do.
of
I
it.
like that, Ben, because most people put a lot of money into a game and then they say, you have to keep doing it because I have all this money in this
Right.
game.
Diminishing return.
Right, and that's
Yeah, yeah.
actually how I thought. Is
Yeah,
like I just I'm already this far in. Let's just
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
And I just was like, no, I can't do that.
Is there a Miss Potts card?
A Miss Potts card.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
We're going deeper in the Beauty and the Beast thing. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
what's
yeah.
I
happening?
believe she's Mrs. Potts.
Okay.
I don't think that's a
I
miss
she's
situation.
married. Yeah.
Tale as old as time.
Oh, don't worry, we're getting a remake of it. It's great. It's fine. They're redoing that music. They did the movie and then the musical, and now we're getting a third version of it with the worst actors. Screw those original actors. Screw the original Broadway cast. I want Ewan McGregor in that.
What do you
Is it
mean? Ewan
animated or
McGregor
what
is
is
the
it?
worst actor. That's one of the top
He is the
10
worst.
best in the
He is
world right
the
now.
worst singer that has played that role.
What do you-
Period.
what?
That is a fact.
No. What
That is
about
it.
Moulin Rouge, baby?
He's
Dude, don't get me started
Ewan
on
McGregor
Moulin
he's a not bad singer, but he's
No.
not the best singer.
Not
in
by
the
far.
world.
The worst actor who's ever played Lumiere? What kind of opinion is that? That's so weird.
You give me a cast member that is in the
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast film.
Yeah.
I will put that will be the worst sung version of that song available. Why make the film then?
Who's Mrs. Potts in the movie?
Angela Lansbury?
Yeah, Angela Lansbury.
Replaceable?
No.
Yeah, replaceable.
Oh, you mean in the animated
Yeah,
movie?
Mary Poppins sequel. Just do it. Who cares? The original movie? We can do better than that.
Jones, I want to keep you fired up.
Thinking.
We're actually, this transitions real well into where we're going.
Oh, sure it does.
We're talking Disney.
Yeah, baby.
We're not
Oh,
leaving
boy.
this Disney train. Because here's what happened this week. Disney Infinity announced how it's going to shut down its servers. I guess every game's got to shut down its servers eventually, especially canceled games.
Halo 2 had to shut down their servers eventually, so
Yeah.
it happens.
There are some particular things that make this unique, this server shutdown. And Jones, it's frankly confusing to me. I would like for you to explain to us what's going on with Disney Infinity. Can you do that?
Yes. So
Okay.
the game is still playable. Most of the versions of the game, the Steam version and the console versions of Disney Infinity, will be playable forever.
Okay.
You will be able to put in a disc
All right.
and go into the game and play it and play play sets and create your toy boxes and do whatever you want.
Okay.
It is the uploading and the downloading that is of contention when you talk about the Infinity servers. Meaning, I created a toy box.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Disney and have them take a look at it and then make that available to other people.
My friends.
Or, hey, there was a Tron contest last week. Let's all go online and check out all the Tron stuff.
That's going to
So
end.
the contests
Of
have
course.
already ended.
That's got to end. Yeah.
So it's like that's slowly rolling out. There's no press engine behind Infinity at all. So any new announcements or anything, like when the Finding Dory playset came out, there were no screenshots or anything. Like they're all gone. They've left the building.
Okay.
In-game purchases are already gone in the PC and mobile versions, not the Steam version, the PC version of Disney Infinity.
So hold on. What in-game purchases did this have in the first place?
I think that's where you bought the playsets and stuff. I think you could buy digital stuff in the
Oh,
game.
you didn't have to buy the playsets at Toys R Us?
In
You
the
could buy
PC
them?
and mobile version, I don't know if
Okay.
the playsets were available. I think there was stuff you can straight up buy because the PC and mobile versions didn't come with a base. Like you had in the PC, that's what the codes were for. When you got a figure and you had a code, you type in the code and then that unlocks the figure in your account. So I think if you just want to buy a figure, maybe that would have been separate. Never
Why
played
does
it on
this
PC.
version even
Never even
exist,
ran it
man?
for kicks.
Yeah,
so
get out of here.
that is my assumption of how that works. Mobile will go offline on September 30th. That is for 2.0 and 3.0. So that is Android, iOS, and Apple TV will be gone.
Yes.
Like not in stores, not supported, not on the App Store. See ya. Gone.
Yes. And
If
what
you
I'm
have it
confused by,
installed,
Jones,
you
is
won't be
I
able
see
to play it.
You will click that. Yeah, it's like the GT app. You'll hit it and then, oh.
that's what I see.
work.
Yeah, like it'll
Yeah.
become unplayable
Yeah,
even if
will
you
not work
already bought it.
on mobile.
Wow.
But the big thing The one that I'm like, oh, okay, that changes what my August is going to be like, and September. September 30th will be the last day, and this might be a little fuzzy. They say, apparently, in the announcement, quote, check the website frequently. So these dates might be in flux a little bit.
Okay.
They might have like a little bit of leeway. Like, I imagine like once that deadline hits, they might add a couple days just in case people start freaking out. September 30th is the submission deadline. If you want to make a toy box that you want anyone in the world to ever play that is not coming over to your house, September 30th is your last day to get it to Disney
And then what
have them
happens?
approve it. And then they approve it, and then they, if it passes, so you probably get that before September 30th because there's just some issue technically, or there's some used a naughty swear word or something, and they're like, no, I'm sorry, we can't put that up on our servers, and it's, October, you might be out of luck.
Okay.
And then March 3rd, the Windows version, the PC, and I'm sorry, yeah, the PC version's gone. Will not work anymore.
Will not work anymore?
Will not PC gone.
What is that, Jones? What does
Windows
that mean?
8 and Windows 10 they're gone. That's what
does
the
that
update
mean,
said. If you try to boot those games up, they will not work. Because it's got to activate servers. It's got to check, like, do you own those figures? Let me check the database, and there's no database. They're gone. The company's doesn't exist anymore.
This is a video game that will not work.
It will not.
If I have
it will
it
not.
on PC.
There will be no way to play it.
So that when I said to everyone that why this is unusual, why you just listened to us talk about Disney Infinity, is this is a game that will simply become dysfunctional in a year.
For people that have it on PC or mobile or Apple TV. And then, but as I said before, console and Steam versions will still be playable.
Yeah.
You just won't be able to, as of March 3rd, as of September 30th, you won't be able to give anything to Disney. As of March 3rd, you won't be able to download anything from Disney. So
March 3rd.
March 3rd. So I'm creating the Easy Allies toy box. I have until September 30th to get that to Disney if I want any ally to ever play that ever. Unless they're playing with me on Toy Box Tuesday.
And then they have until March 3rd to download it. And then that will never happen.
And then gone.
Yeah, I guess that why I pulled it, Jones, is that one element. If you bought it for Windows 10, if you bought it for mobile, if you bought it for your weird Apple TV, it's just a game that's gone. That's really weird to me for a game on this scale. I think we've seen it. We've talked about it with other games. Just like, oh, that game's dead. It's gone. Happens a lot of times with MMOs. Is this okay? Is that okay for a thing?
And that's
to
an
do?
app that you paid the same price as the console version for, right?
I think isn't it like, don't they do it like free?
I think it's less, yeah.
The figures
Oh,
or
okay.
something like that?
I think
don't
it's
remember.
less.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, it's weird because, like, I'm actually surprised that it's still gone this long and that you can download it until March or whatever. Like, because they're paying for servers to run this, and like,
Yeah.
there are human
humans.
beings
Yeah.
still there. Like, they fired everyone, I guess, except for the team that is still for some reason approving playsets. Like, I'm shocked that they.
But they might have moved on to another position.
Yeah.
Like they might be having some other job now, and they're like, but the understanding is you're going to do this job, and you're still going to do your old job where you approve toy boxes and stuff.
Right.
But
That's
like there
probably
might
not an easy job. You got to go
But
in
like
and
I
make sure.
don't, but I don't know. It's like part of me thinks there's just gonna be just this torrent of uploads where everyone's gonna be like, "This is our last chance," and part of me is like, people might have already bailed. People might have already been hurt so bad that they're just like, "Okay, fine."
Yeah, I would have bailed.
I would have
Especially if these people are like winning contests every month and just like the people I know that just made millions of toy boxes. Like I could see them being burnt. I could see them being like, "Okay, fine, I'm out." Like if there's a chance that I'm gonna upload something in September and no, not a lot of people are gonna check it out because they only have a couple months.
Yeah.
Well, and also like the sheer fortitude of will of someone working at Disney on an abandoned project like Disney Infinity and still scrubbing these toy boxes for giant penis statues.
Yeah.
Like and not just saying like, you know what, screw them, I'm letting this one through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that. Like I don't imagine anyone would do that because Disney is like, you know, draconian about that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know. You know, they're better people than we, perhaps.
Yeah. So they care about the kids. You got to
Yeah.
think about kids. You think
I
about
think
kids
about
first, and
I
then
think
was
about the
like,
kids all the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta protect that stuff.
I guess, Ben, the macro I want to have here is how long is a publisher responsible for keeping a game running that is no longer for sale? How long are you responsible for dumping money into a game that you're not making money from anymore?
I guess in the strictest sense of the question, it's totally at their discretion, right? If depending on like what the terms say when you sign up to play that game,
Yeah.
but it's different on a company by company basis. So Disney Interactive is not a thing anymore. They're not going to be making games anymore.
They don't care how we think about that company.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of instances where these companies have to close down a game, but they don't want people to get angry at them because they have other games that they're selling, and so it's in their best interest to and that's the thing. It's funny you bring up Blizzard, because every single time they update something like a Diablo 2, there's a news story that comes out of it, and people are like, oh, that's great, they're still supporting this thing, and that creates this positive image for them. And so I don't think they're actually required to maintain it, but depending on their business interest, it is maybe their best idea to do so. Because the thing is like the Disney games were based on Disney properties, and you want people to still have a good impression of Disney, and so keeping it going until next year, I think, is in some ways a feel-good move in a bad situation.
8 months was not what I was expecting at all.
So you're happy, Jones?
I was like, March of next year?
Yeah.
Wow. Like,
I'm astonished.
I thought like getting into August, I was like, I gotta wrap this Toy Box Tuesday thing up. My days are numbered, and I will sooner than March 3rd. I'll probably move on to to other endeavors, but. Yeah, that was longer than I was expecting.
Other games, or you'll stop doing Toy Box?
Just other streams, stream other games. Not necessarily do something Tuesday at 10, because I've been doing it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. Okay.
It's not fun, Kyle. It's serious.
It's not serious.
Very sad, serious business, Kyle.
It's not serious, sad. Well, it's just interesting to me. It's I never get that part. I think of myself sometimes in these positions as like a business person in charge of that, and I would say, what? Just pull the servers now. Come on. Who cares what they think? No, I would honestly be that person. And so it's crazy to me when I see these acts of goodwill where they are just spending money on things that they're not getting any return
Like,
on.
I think that's a bad idea, but I would not have put it past Disney.
Yeah.
If it literally, I turned that on one day, and so it was like, oh, by the way,
there is a third
message came up.
There is a third option.
Which is what?
That they just paid for this already anyway.
Oh, sure.
The servers, so like it literally is just like, well, the subscription runs out in March, so
I hear that.
Because I mean that makes sense. They're not going to just like pay month to month on these servers.
If this is an abuse of the Prove It ticket, please let me know, because this is the first time I've done this.
Okay.
But I would like you to prove something to me.
Oh boy.
So, on the Patreon Q&A, you said that if stuck in a situation where we all had to kill each other, you would be the first to accept that reality and begin the process. And now you just said you'd be the person that would just pull the plug on these games.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is like the Luke Skywalker Darth Vader situation where there is good in you yet, and you just don't realize it. I want you to prove to me, give me an example of this cold-hearted business decision coming into play where you exacted this philosophy.
Okay, this is a perfectly fine use of the Prove It ticket.
Okay.
Right, like I'm all talk, like I pretend like I could be evil in a given situation.
I want to know the evil.
When have I been truly evil? When have I been truly cold?
I love this, Ben.
Oh boy, Ben.
I love this.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of through high school. I'm trying to think of through college. I'm trying to think of like out here in LA. I guess I don't know, Ben. I'm just okay. The worst thing I do probably is someone will ask to collaborate on something. Like, hey man, do you want to like work on like a thing together? And I absolutely don't respond.
Like, you didn't get the email? They're just like, oh, delete, didn't get that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
probably
evil.
the most evil thing I do.
I don't think that's evil.
I recently did that to a certain company that I won't mention.
They said, "Hey, you want to work on something?" And
They were
you just
like,
did not
"Hey, do you
respond?
want to come in?" And I was like, "What are your rates?" And they told me, and I was like, "I decline." And then they said, "Well, we can negotiate," and I just didn't respond.
What part of I decline?
That
you
is
not
the
understand?
best thing I can come up with, Ben. I think you just got some warehouse.
Yeah.
I could not prove it.
Let it be shown that Kyle could not prove his evilness.
You're right. I can't.
It's all talk.
I think Ben's
But
right.
it should
I
also
think
be
it's all talk.
it should also be clarified that Prove It. I think that was a little bit on the fence. That Prove It should specify something that is said on the podcast.
Okay,
I'm asking you to prove a statement you just
Here's
said
the
on the
thing,
podcast.
though. I've been thinking about that. Like,
It was a little bit of both. It was like what he just said along with
thinking
something he
about
said
that
earlier.
this entire podcast. I don't know that when Huber's not on the podcast, I don't know that we say things that are that inflammatory that like anyone would ever have to be like, nah, prove it. Like you,
They do now.
That's
Damiani
BS.
did a great Prove It.
Well,
last week.
Damiani,
He did
Damiani's
a
full
great
of
Prove It.
lies.
And I felt confident in the Didn't I have to prove it?
You
or
lost
something?
it. You lost
Yeah,
it.
I lost, but I didn't feel like, oh, how the heck am I going to do this? I was
Yeah,
like, wait,
yeah,
no, I got an example. It wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
But is it bad that when I went to the gym on Monday, I imagined killing all of you? Is that bad? That was
bad.
kind of a fallout from the Q&A conversation about us being put in a zero escape.
Did you
How
honestly
did you
thing.
kill me? How did you kill me?
It'd be messy. You know what I mean? Like you'd like to think it would be like a Bruce Willis thing, but it would be lots of slapping and
Honestly,
and
it's
grabs.
choking. It's
Yeah.
choking. We kill each other with chokes.
Well, basically, so
You use your
handle
knees.
this.
Here's the thing,
You use
I
your
think
knees on the
about-
guy's arms and you choke the person.
can I also
No,
tell
they
you like
headbutt
how
you
a
in the
situation played out in my head because you did ask?
Yeah.
Sure.
That because you said you got to take me out first, so that like we
Oh, yeah,
have
we
that
team up on
conversation,
Jones.
and then
Yeah.
but it'd be a wholly different situation. If we were just thrown into that, and then
Yeah.
what would we do? But we've all talked about it now, so it's like now
Now we know.
everyone has
Yes.
those forethought, and then they're put in the
I'm
situation.
thinking about the situation where I have to be in
So
a death
one
match.
of us, like while we're all like, it's all dawning on us. We're like, oh no, I don't want to kill anyone.
Yeah.
Just somebody in the group gets the idea. Now's my chance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go at Jones while he's not paying attention. Somebody just bum rushes me.
Yeah.
In defense, I kill that person.
Wait, you're using a knife. We don't
Do we
get
have
knives.
weapons?
They came at me. Yeah, they came out with a sharp object. They had
No,
something in their pocket or
we don't
something,
get
like
those.
a pen.
We don't get those.
They had,
Fine.
they had a pen.
That wasn't in Battle Royale. There are weapons.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So the first
Like on
chance,
the
first
ground.
chance they get, they try to kill me. I killed them in self-defense.
Sure.
Now here I am standing in front of the rest of the allies with blood on my hands.
Yes.
Even though that person
you're the
attacked me,
first
now
one.
I look
Yeah.
like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's just
that's
yeah.
the thing. That's the thing.
Then it's just
always,
Captain America in an elevator, and I gotta.
Yeah. The best.
So, Jones, what's crazy to me, what's scary to me is that happened at the gym when you're like up on your
Yeah,
testosterone.
no, that's
when you're
exactly
lifting
why,
weights,
because
you're
I was
like,
Yeah.
oh, I could kill
He's
them.
got his blood
Oh, I
up.
could absolutely just kill him.
Because you said you were like,
Yeah.
Jones got a trainer. We gotta take Jones out.
Yeah. You are
So
the
at the
most.
gym, and I
That's
was
the
like,
thing,
this
like-
is why. I mean, I thought, yeah, being healthy and everything, but this is really why I'm here.
Yeah. You got to train
Just
against
one day.
us.
You'd never see it coming.
I would love right now to start Love and Respect. Let's do it. This is the perfect.
I have-
This is the perfect
We need to go back
opportunity.
into Love and Respect.
Yeah, please.
We don't want to talk about that anymore.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
Love and respect.
Let
Oh,
me
I feel
find
better.
Let me find a question that'll unify us.
good.
We need to get back on board with each other. This will make Jones happy. I'll do this one real quick. This is from B Dunn 91.
Sweet.
912. Be done 912. Please pick questions and topics that are not at all about the NX. Not a question, just my wish, love, and respect. Okay, no questions
is.
about NX.
I
Right on.
agree.
You got it, bud.
That should be the title of this podcast episode. Nintendo free.
That is what I want to talk about the most.
I know, and we get so many questions about it. It's, it's like Donald Trump. It's just something that's very like topical and juicy, and we should be talking about NX every week because it is so juicy.
Well, the thing is, like, it's not like it's gonna stop. It's not like the wave is gonna go away. It's
Yeah.
only gonna get bigger.
We're getting
Yeah,
dangerously
worries.
close to doing the thing that we just said we were
Sorry,
going to
sorry,
do.
sorry. I don't mind spending a week off.
One more sentence.
Sir, this one's pretty fun. This is a good fun question. Here we go. Allies. I recently visited a bar in Boise, Idaho called the Space Bar. Good name. This
Yeah.
bar looked like what you'd get if a run-of-the-mill mall arcade from the late 80s humped a modern-day gastropub. Ooh. I was
So
blown.
button mash.
Sorry?
Huh?
What-
Button mash? There's a place in LA that's
Oh,
exactly
sure, absolutely.
that.
Yeah, it's a
Button mash.
barcade. I was blown away by the concept, but I was left a bit underwhelmed by the game choices. They had some classics like Gauntlet, Rampage, and Moonwalker, but where was Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat?
Moonwalker's pretty good though.
Where was The Simpsons? The
They probably-
concept has some friends. So the concept has that concept has some friends and I seriously considering opening our own classic arcade bar in downtown Richmond. We are going to have at least 20 craft beers on tap, and feature nothing but the classics, both mainstream and cult, from the 70s through the early 90s. We are also going to have a room dedicated to nothing but GoldenEye split-screen multiplayer on a massive
God,
television.
yes.
I'm gonna spend way too much time there.
Other than
Please
the
be
obvious
real.
games I've mentioned, do you have any suggestions for our bar? Love and respect, James H. Pearson, Esquire.
Discs of Tron. For real. Get the full case with the lights and everything. God, that game is awesome.
Is that a 70s game with vector graphics?
I think. I don't know what the year it came out, but like
Okay.
you're in the thing and it looks 3D, and you spin this crazy disc to throw, the Tron ID disc off, and you can bounce off the wall, and you're trying to hit a guy, and there are discs that they're standing on, and you try to hit them, but then like lights are above you. I loved it. It was at 82 for like the one time I was there, and then it was gone the next time. I played like for like an hour of Discs of Tron, and
How'd
you
you
can
do?
get it. You can get. I did all right. You can get
Okay.
it on the Xbox Arcade, I think, but it's like weird and different.
No, it's good.
Discs of Tron.
I say get Afterburner and like
Okay.
install a table. So when it's at its kind of upright, like you can get in the machine now. There's like a little table. And you're like, oh, here's where I put my beer. Then you like put your beer in, and then you boot the game up. And your beer falls over you every time.
Sure.
And then everyone outside laughs at the guy inside Afterburner.
I would
my
really like this place a lot more if they had cocktail versions of game. Pac-Man is always a good one. Dig Dug, Frogger, like
Table style.
The table
Oh,
style.
I
yeah,
got what you're saying.
Frogger,
Okay.
tabletop Frogger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Burger Time. My God, Burger Time.
I just want to be in the back, like by myself, or maybe with one other person at the table drinking beer, playing these games. Like I don't like the GoldenEye section would be awesome, but I worry that there'd be too many people there, and like I just
Okay.
want to relax and chill and have a beer and play.
So what I find really interesting is that it ends at early 90s. This person saw games from the 80s and said, hey, come on, where are the 90s games? And then you will have people coming into this bar who are saying, where are the late 90s games?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are aged 21 and up these days. I kind of
More
feel
and more,
like
it
you
seems
shouldn't
like.
cut it off at early 90s. I think if it's a quality game, bring it on in. What I'm
Sure.
saying is the Star Wars arcade game from Sega is pretty sweet.
The
It is
Battle
pretty
Pod.
sweet.
No, it's the one that has a joystick.
Yes,
Oh.
it is very sweet.
You use that joystick as a
the sit-down
lightsaber. and-
yeah, very good.
I
If
really
we're
like that game.
if we're doing that, Dark Escape, was it?
I don't know, man.
That's
Dark
20. That's
Escape
21st
4D.
century, I believe.
That's like right now.
yeah.
That just
so
came out.
Does that ruin the novelty of the bar, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Also-
I do have to worry about that, I guess.
Also, I think there's a really obvious reason why a bar would have Moonraker and not Simpsons, and that's
Why?
Simpsons is like 5 times the price of Moonraker, right? I mean,
oh,
like
as
some of
as
these
far
are
as
he's
arcades
saying, like,
yeah.
why weren't the best arcade games of all time there? It's like
Yeah.
because those,
In
those
Idaho.
cabinets are extremely pricey,
Yeah.
I really love the
tens
X-Men
if not
beat 'em
hundreds
up.
of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars.
The X-Men
Rightfully
beat 'em
so.
up is fantastic.
Rightfully
Oh
so.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Turtles in Time.
6
That's
player.
got it.
Yeah.
If you can get your hands on the Addams Family pinball machine, that's a really expensive one, but man, that's a good one.
Can we talk bar strat? Can we talk arcade strat? A lot of arcades are pretty difficult, and you can adjust the difficulty. What do you think about putting them on easy difficulty at this place? Well, just letting people have fun. They're spending money on drinks. You know what I mean? That's where we're making most of our money.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea because you're playing off nostalgia anyway.
Yeah.
And so when people are playing these games, they want to say to themselves, man, this was a great game and I was awesome at it.
Yeah.
And you just want to
Yeah.
reinforce
Trick
that
'em.
feeling. You don't want them, you don't want it to be super hard and have them like lose all their lives on the first level and they're like, oh, it's not as good as I thought.
Yeah.
And then they leave.
You can't do that with pinball, can you?
Do
you
you need to be
can-
easier? I don't know.
You
I
can,
don't know.
I believe you can make pinball easier. Like, you
I
can
would
do-
say
Whoa.
don't do
Well,
that
yeah,
with
more
pinball.
lives.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's kind of the nature of pinball is to like see your quarters evaporate.
Sunset Riders is another really good
Ooh.
side scroll beat 'em up.
You know
I
what-
really like that one a lot.
You know, it'd be a cool kind of hook that I've never seen a barcade do.
Give me that hook.
Where if you have enough space, and it sounds like if you've got a GoldenEye room, you might have multiple rooms. You can have the rooms themed as that period of time. So like you have the
Oh,
70s room, you have the
man.
80s room,
Oh
you
my
have
God,
the
with
90s
movie posters
room.
and,
This is
like-
a good idea. Movie
and like
posters.
good idea.
shag
Oh my God.
carpeting. Well, that in bar that'd be a bad idea. But like the furniture, the feel, the music in that room
Oh,
is
man.
that era.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Like a time machine. You call it like Time Machine or Barcade or something.
Ugh,
That'd be cool.
love it.
Yeah. Ben, did you have a final thought here?
No, that's,
okay.
It's just that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
And like why? And I don't mean this in a. In
It's
an
not
offensive
that.
way.
Yeah.
It's a simple.
It's
idea.
a simple idea. I've never seen anybody do it.
And that's I've
Traveling through time.
when I went back to Iowa for Christmas last year, I went to a barcade that just like recently opened up in my hometown, and it was kind of that feeling where they just like threw a bunch of things together, and it was cool. But I think if it had a more distinct theme, or if things were separated in a more logical way, it would have hit way.
That'd be
harder,
cool.
for
Cool.
sure.
Yeah, then we could keep it from losing its identity, which I
Yeah.
was nervous about.
Well,
I
and
like
then
that
you
idea,
could
yeah.
have modern games and stuff, and then also it'd be kind of interesting because then you might get to see like it'd be like kind of an interesting social experiment too, like which rooms are popular, who goes to which rooms. You know, that'd be kind of funny.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's this Round One arcade I go to pretty often, like every other month in the City of Industry.
Okay.
And
Is that
they,
the Twin Pines one?
it's in the
The
City
Back
of
to the
Industry.
Future one?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so.
sorry, I
Anyway,
derailed you.
They do separate machines, so they have like a music game section, like with all these crazy rhythm games from Japan, and then they have like, okay, here's where you get all the ticket games, and it's so funny seeing like the individual cultures around these machines, because you go in the ticket area, it's a bunch of families like smiling and have a good time, but then when you go into the back, these guys like have these cards, they have headphones in, they're like sweating, playing these crazy Japanese rhythm games, and then the fighting game guys, like the guys sitting there playing Tekken are the best because they're mean, they look mean. I'm not saying they're mean, but they look mean, and like these guys bring like a gallon of water and they just sit down at these machines, and it's just seeing the vertical slices of these different
even the racing game, that one racing game.
I know the round one you're talking about.
It's really
the Silent
cool.
Hill arcade game was broken when I went there. I was really bummed out.
Barisby asks, we got a game from Barisby. Here we go.
It's on.
Love and respect. This is a game. You have to choose one game franchise out of the 3 to get a sequel remake done by another developer. So this is actually a question I get a lot. Is like, if you could choose any developer to make any game, we're getting the developers in the games, and you have to pick one of these to become reality, and the others never to be.
Okay.
Number 1, we can get a Final Fantasy game made by CD Projekt Red.
Oh, he's laying them all out.
Yep. We could get a Mass Effect game made by Telltale Games.
Oh God, no.
Or we can get a Red Dead game made by Kojima Productions.
That one.
Sure.
Okay, so why that one?
There's nothing. All the words in that sentence I liked.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
It would be like a batshit psychedelic western. Like,
And like, hats off to them when you was like, or a Red Dead, and I'm like, no, made by Kojima. Yeah, I want that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's the one guy.
In a Kojima Red Dead game, you are guaranteed to go to space.
Oh yeah,
like 100%.
Or
you
like
are going
It
to space.
opens in space.
yeah. You're gonna have like a 45-minute conversation with the skull of an ox.
Yeah, you're like a Native American god. Man. Okay.
Like no cutscene. Like it's a
I'm
cutscene.
so disappointed with the game now.
Actual Red
Oh, you're
Dead
just riding around on a horse and playing poker and robbing banks?
Pass.
So normcore.
No lasers, huh?
Core are dead. Number 2, StarCraft MMORPG made by Valve.
There's more. I'm so jazzed about this.
Legend of Zelda made by FromSoft. Assassin's Creed made by Rockstar Games.
Oh, you know where I'm going. Yeah.
Where are you going?
Assassin's Creed made by Rockstar. Bring it.
I second that.
Really?
Legitimize.
Zelda by From.
Yep.
And the first one was
StarCraft MMO made by Valve.
Zelda by From.
Yeah, that first one's tricky. Like, what is Valve going to do with an MMO?
Valve doesn't make games anymore.
Yeah.
The StarCraft MMO by Valve would be an announcement of the StarCraft MMO by Valve, and then just a decade of nothing.
Well done, sir. Yeah, that's good.
Here's why I don't
And like
want...
10 years later, like, you gave it to us. I don't know what the hell you were expecting.
Yeah. We made some hats
Yeah.
with StarCraft on them.
Sold some merch at Comic-Con.
Here's
Sorry,
why I
man.
don't like the From Software Legend of Zelda idea.
Oh, I don't like
Okay,
it either.
Here we go.
Because I feel like I've heard it for so long. They're like, oh man, what if like From Software applied the Dark Souls concepts to
Right.
It's such an obvious thing, and I feel like people already like weirdly have expectations for what it should be, that like I would much rather have From Software take us to a brand new world and have their own like. It's just a little bit too on the nose for me.
I agree. I agree. I just don't. I'm sorry.
We're not going to
I
play
don't
that
really love the
Assassin's Creed
Rockstar game,
Rockstar.
but
yeah.
I'm not going to play it.
But I can see it now.
You can see it now.
Oh, it
It's-
makes itself.
It's no, it's every Assassin's Creed game backwards, so it's predominantly present day. And like you keep having to, so it's open world of a city, and there's different I want to call them umbrella. It's different abstergo buildings or emplacements or labs or something, and you have to keep like
just say
breaking
towers.
into these, and then every time you do, you get a chance to go back in time, do something quick, and then you're out.
Okay.
Or-
So you're going
Jones.
to different time periods, not just one.
That's not bad.
This is like probably not the Rockstar version, but the Kojima version would
Of
be
Assassin's Creed?
It's all modern day Assassin's Creed, and you're Desmond or whatever, and you're unplugged from the machine, but you keep going back in time because you think you're there,
Right.
And you're going on assassination things, but then you find out at, like toward the end of the game that you've just been going around killing people,
Right.
And you're
But you
a
don't
crazy
care, and you
person.
keep doing it.
Yeah, you're a crazy person.
What's one of my least favorite things to do in a game is just like, you were crazy.
No, I
That
think you
didn't
know.
really
The player
happen."
knows.
Oh, okay. Still, I hate it.
I don't know. I hate it too.
Number 3, let's get a game that we don't hate. Persona, made by Don't Nod Entertainment.
Whoa.
Oh.
Alan Wake, made by Naughty Dog. Mario Galaxy made by Blizzard.
Those are good.
Yeah, these are good. These are
Those are
weirdos.
good.
These are true weird ones.
I'll vote Alan Wake.
Okay, made by Naughty Dog.
Sure.
Okay.
They've already.
Uh-oh.
They did
But it's
that.
spooky.
They did it.
But spooky. Less
It'd
platformy,
be
more
the
spooky.
same.
It would be the closest to what... I think
It'd
of the
be-
three, it'd be the closest to what was already
Yeah.
existing.
I mean, it would look better.
It would look much better.
What was the first one? By Playdead?
Persona made
Persona
by
by
Don't
Play-
Nod,
Or by Don't Nod.
who did Life is Strange, everybody. What do you got, Ben?
Definitely Super Mario Galaxy made by
Yeah.
Blizzard. Like,
Agree.
Definitely?
oh yeah, it is such a beautiful travesty that I have to see it.
Like, imagine the game
I'm just
intro
curious.
to that.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
You know
Yeah.
Mario wouldn't look quite right.
Exactly.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
The Uncanny Valley would be like just,
Yeah.
whoa, that game.
The first promo detail they released would just be like a super close up of his eye and like a little bit of his mustache, just like super high fidelity mustache.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
galaxy
that
is
CG trailer?
reflected in his eye. You can see the galaxy.
I bet a Super Mario Galaxy game by Blizzard Entertainment would be like referential to the point of pain.
Oh, like how much they respect him?
Yeah, like they respect him, and there are all these like wink, wink, nod, nod moments, and it would be painful in a really endearing way.
We got to see that game.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I'm just
Okay.
curious.
Sure. Next, Star Wars 1313 made by BioWare.
Whoa.
The Sims made by Traveler's Tales as a Lego game. Portal made by Nintendo.
oh, The Sims, like
The Sims
The
Lego
Sims
game?
is a Lego game. Yeah.
Why?
I'm all over that. I just like Lego games.
Okay.
That's just there's a franchise that's, you know, as far as I'm concerned, not really on its way to doing anything great
Jones,
in the next couple
imagine,
years. So.
No. Imagine a Lego game though, where you have to have them get jobs for you to earn more money to buy bricks.
Gosh darn it, I'd probably still love it.
Okay. All right. Ian, what do you got?
Star Wars 1313.
Made by BioWare.
I think it'd be like pretty similar to what it would have been anyway, but I don't know. That concept looked really cool to me.
Yeah, I hear
I'd
ya.
like to see that game.
Ben, which game are we making?
I'm leaning toward Portal by Nintendo.
Ooh, we all have different
Heck yeah.
picks this time. Nice.
I'm there with you, Ben. I don't even need you to explain that. That game's so fun, Portal by Nintendo.
Yeah. It's like it doesn't get dark.
Never gets
It's
dark.
entirely just what it is. It's just get face value. There's
It's like
nothing else going on.
a young, like proung GLaDOS in the
Yeah.
beginning. It's like, hi, and like super
Yeah.
cheerful.
GLaDOS just isn't in it.
Yeah.
It's just a puzzle game.
Here's the thing about Portal by Nintendo, though. You know how Mario Galaxy and Link's Awakening are, by and large, like very colorful games, but there's like that hint of tragedy. There's like that hint
yeah.
of depth that's like really wonderful. The way they sprinkle it in.
100%.
I
Yeah.
think that would be Portal. There would be
Yeah.
like this subtle thing that you could piece together. It would be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Our last game that we get to make. This
I love
is it.
this.
The Walking Dead, made by Remedy Entertainment. Pokemon, made by Bethesda. Half-Life 3, made by Bungie. That's... Brisby, you did such a good job with this.
Those are
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I have to do Pokemon by Bethesda.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, here's
Yes,
why. Here's
yes,
why.
yes.
Because
No,
it'd be
no.
so
Yes.
bad.
They would miss
It
everything.
would be so
It
bad.
would be so off the mark
It would
about
be
what makes
awful.
a Pokemon game
And those
special.
Pokemon would look so bad.
Oh,
They would somehow look like superhuman and then like not human enough.
The glitch
I don't
videos,
think-
Kyle. The
Oh
glitch
my
videos.
God.
I don't
Oh my
think this is
God.
hyperbole. It
Yeah.
would be the end of video games. It would create a divide so big that we would never recover.
It would-
Like they'd be
unlike
like,
the
I
industry.
caught all 150 Pokemon in one ball.
Yeah.
It's just like, like the game let me do it.
Yeah. Okay.
The
you're
one
right.
ball, the one ball mod.
It's just like
It's so
Charizard like
crazy I have
trying
to
to
see
go
it.
out a door. It's just like hilarious.
Yeah,
just like-
Charmander's a robot detective.
In the trailer for Pokemon by Bethesda, they show you riding a Charizard in first person, and it would be terrible.
Yeah. Really super bad frame rate.
God, the game would be beautiful.
I kind of want it now. I see what you're
The
saying.
game would be beautiful.
You actually
the
don't-
mods.
Yeah.
The mods would be hilarious.
And you
Yeah.
throw a Pokeball, and the white text comes up, throw increased. Oh my god.
Yes, yeah.
It would be so bad.
I want this game now.
Yeah.
You sold me. Y'all sold me on that.
You actually don't catch them. You hunt all of them down and kill them.
Oh
Like
my
it's actually
God.
just.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I feel like people
There is
are interpreting this as I hate Bethesda. I
there
don't.
will be a
No.
decision. You have to make decisions.
Bethesda just
frequently.
can't make a game to
Yeah.
save their life.
They're companions. That's the best you can do.
Like, what kind of Pokemon trainer will you be? Will you destroy?
It's
Nuketown?
post-apocalyptic-
Will you, like, nuke
post-apocalyptic.
that town?
The Dark Brotherhood. Okay.
Oh, that's so good. One last question.
Like a Pokemon shows up with like a cowl on, and it's just like, we witnessed you.
We know.
Take that Pokemon in public. We know.
Will you join us?
We'll be
or
in
will
touch.
You be our enemy.
Yeah. Team
We've-
Rocket is like just brutal. Oh.
We've added moral dilemma. Oh my god. Todd Howard's. Oh my god.
Please.
I'm sorry.
Todd Howard presents Pokemon. Okay, allies. I need your opinion. Okay, so
this
we got
the same-
advice. This
same
is-
person?
No, this is a new one. This is
Okay.
a little serious.
right.
Okay, all right.
Square Enix is offering a season pass for Final Fantasy 15, or first for a Final Fantasy game. PlayStation Network was just updated, and you can now pre-order the game with the season pass for $85 US. However, no details whatsoever were given relating to the contents of the season pass. Costume DLC, new missions, new minigames. Your guess is as good as mine. What's your opinion on fact? What's your opinion on fact that we can now pay on the fact? I'm sorry. What's your opinion on the fact that we can now pay for a season pass of a game 10 years in the making without knowing its contents? Love and respect, Phoenix Rouge.
I would
That's
say
messed
don't
up. Yeah,
do it.
Don't
Yeah,
do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
How? I don't get though that they are selling the season pass without anything, without any indication of what is included.
I feel like the season passes, like the last few I can think of, like I don't think they said what really was in them. You just knew there was DLC coming.
They did that with Fallout.
Yeah,
They did
that's
with
what I was
Fallout 4.
thinking of.
They
is
said
Fallout,
we don't know
yeah.
what's coming.
Yeah, and people loved it.
Did they?
Well, I mean, I don't remember there being a huge backlash because it was like they had that E3 presentation and they're like, "Oh, hey, you can get the CS Pass. We don't know what's going to be in it."
Yeah.
They were honest about it, and I think that the DLC that they delivered seemed cool. Like that really foggy place, that seemed cool.
Oh my goodness. We never ever discussed this, but it was found that one of the side quests in the most recent DLC for Fallout 4 was nearly identical to somebody's mod.
Whoa!
I saw that headline. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like it was creepy how much they lifted from that mod. Boy, that would have been a funny thing to discuss.
They've also proven themselves with Fallout 3 and New Vegas that like we do DLC.
Yeah.
They're all very different from each other. They're extremely weird.
We have no idea what Final Fantasy does.
So when you get one coming at you that's like, oh, this Fallout DLC was weird, you know the next one's going to be totally different theme, different weapons. You're going to be in space. You're going to be,
Yeah.
you know, like passing through another dimension, or you're going to get covered in slime and become a different creature or something. So yeah, it's like Final Fantasy. It's like it's not only do we not have another. That's the thing about Final Fantasy. It's like every single one is so different in your whole plan of like, now we're doing 3 of them. Wait, now this is just a standalone game. Now we're doing a TV show. So it's just like, this could get bad. This could not work out at all. Your concept of what a season pass for an RPG in 2016 could be, I imagine Square Enix could screw that up easily.
We do have some inkling of what a Final Fantasy DLC plan would look like, and I think the clearest example is Final Fantasy 13 2.
What did they do?
So in 13.2, there was DLC with story. There was story DLC that was like pretty important. It connected the dots between 13.2 and Lightning Returns. There was also, and I guarantee, if you look at the 13 trilogy, specifically Lightning Returns, and you look at Final Fantasy 14, I can promise that this is going to happen with Final Fantasy 15. Is there were arena battles in 13.2 against like classic Final Fantasy characters. And just leaning on that nostalgia has worked so well with them in the past that is going to happen in Final Fantasy 15 to some degree. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Can I tell you something, Ben?
Yeah.
At the demo I watched at E3, Tabata was presenting it. They went to a city that looks like Venice, but there was a stadium. And he said, I'll tell you about that stadium later.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ben, I'm so scared. That's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I do also think that there's going to be a camping trip DLC where they
Ooh.
just go camping.
That's the whole game,
If that's
man.
the game.
No, but like without a car.
We're still camping. We got to go find sites and make a little fire and sleep in our tents.
I mean, like just like hanging out, telling stories.
Oh, so it like takes place after the game.
Yeah,
Everything's
it's like
resolved.
Citadel, but they're just camping.
Now let's go camping.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they got all these Coleman lanterns hanging around. So
Yeah, they got to use them.
Yeah,
What I think would be really cool for Final Fantasy 15 is because you only play as Noctis throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
Is if you offer me either like another perspective or like a prologue or like an epilogue afterwards, where I play as somebody else and it's entirely new mechanics.
Yeah.
And I'm experiencing this world in a totally different way.
So here's the thing with most season passes: there's no real value, no loss of value if you just buy them later. You can usually buy season
That's what I
pass
was
way
thinking. Like,
later.
it's going to be $20 later. Like,
Yeah, and so I think you can do what Ben says. Just look at it. Look at it. Don't buy it.
Wait
now.
until you see if the game is total garbage or not.
It won't be. It's gonna be one of the greats.
No.
Oh boy,
I disagree.
I stand by it.
I'm skeptical. I'm not trying to be down on it. I'm just skeptical.
Being skeptical on Final Fantasy 15 right now is wise.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
You're being delusional if you call it one of the greats.
Yeah.
I can't help myself.
Oh. Okay, I was like,
yeah,
And that's
wait.
me.
Yeah. That's me, baby.
Ben, do you think it's going to be bad? Or good? Or neutral?
I've gone through an emotional roller coaster on Final Fantasy 15. I'm at a point where I want to believe. I'm at a point where
You're moldering it.
I've thought about
You're
this
gonna molder
game
it.
for so long. I've put so much energy into thinking about this game that I can't. Like, when I think about it, it's just like both thoughts cancel each other out, and I just want to play it.
You're going to molder it. Sure. I'm scullying it.
Lastly, I have a really fun update from Crazy Bird, who, when Overwatch launched, asked us if it was worth getting if your friends aren't into it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Update.
Nice.
I'm still playing Overwatch and got a few buddies to hop on. No regrets. Thanks for the advice.
Yay!
Still playing Overwatch now.
We don't get everything wrong.
Yeah, we did it.
If you have any other updates to things that
please.
we've had to give advice on, please do. If we got it wrong, please tell
Yeah.
us. Tell us if we did something wrong.
And more games.
Wouldn't that be? When do you end the whole podcast on that note?
Yeah.
Oh, and they said, "Screw you, I got divorced." That's been the podcast, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching.
Yeah, please.
We've destroyed 2 marriages so far.
I want to know. Love and respect questions are submitted to us by people who are on our Patreon, who are in the $5 and up tier. It is now time for bets. Here's what's happening next Tuesday. No Man's Sky is coming out.
Damn.
No Man's Sky is coming out. Can you believe that?
The dream is
The
realized.
dream has been realized. We'll see. We'll see how realized it is.
I mean, if the dream is like, yeah, it's not going to be as good as you thought it was going to be.
Okay, yeah, it might be that. That's still a dream.
Yeah, it's my dream. I'm jazzed as hell for this game. My expectations are
Ben
in
pursing
check.
his lips. He's holding a thought back.
Purse them up.
Purse him up. What's behind those lips?
Is No Man's Sky a game anymore, or is it an idea?
Oh
I don't
boy.
know.
Oh,
Whoa,
Ben.
You're
Nice.
saying
Experience.
this? You're saying
Oh
this?
no! Oh god!
How dare you?
No,
Wait,
it's
what?
not. I'm not condemning. No, don't interpret that the wrong way. It's just like seeing people pin all of their hopes and dreams on No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
It's good to believe in something. It's good to dream,
The impossible dream.
but that should be counterbalanced by like some sort of expectation. If you don't have any expectation, if you think this is going to be the end all be all of everything, like of course you're going to be disappointed. This could go down as the greatest game of all time, as you're going to be disappointed, because I feel like everybody is refusing to acknowledge what No Man's Sky is, and not everybody, a lot of people are refusing to accept what No Man's Sky is, which could be a great thing, and instead making it like their own weird thing.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen people take a game and personalize it to this degree. I just don't know how to process it.
Because throughout the history of the entirety of video games, there's been the promise of the perfect space game, and everyone keeps like changing what it is. Like, is it Star Citizen? No. Is it EVE Online? No. Is it going to be No Man's Sky? I doubt it. You know, like,
I think it's Star Citizen. I think that's still the perfect space game, right?
I don't know, man.
The perfect idea of a space game, I guess.
Sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. No Man's Sky, yeah.
Poor No Man's Sky. It
My worry
does
with
have
No
too many
Man's Sky is,
expectations.
like-
There's no way you can figure that game out in a day.
Right.
You just can't.
But that-
and like we live in an industry right now where it's like you need to prove your game in 24 hours.
Yeah,
You know, otherwise everyone's
my
gonna.
God.
Yeah, no, I want to do a whole Cup of Jones on it. You know, where it frustrates me. That's like something like Pokemon Go. You know, where it's like some people got a day of and then removed it from their phones right away.
Yeah, me.
That are big
Yeah, you're
Pokemon
right.
fans that
Yeah.
just
Yeah, they
refuse
just
to really
wouldn't
give it a chance.
I hear you.
Brent, I've never agreed with you more on anything.
All
in my life.
right.
Like, that's what I am not looking forward to the most. No matter how No Man's Sky turns out, like 6 hours after that game comes out, there are going to be people in the YouTube comments on the
Sucks.
forum post.
there's-
I know exactly what this game is. That's
no
all there is.
possible
Like,
way.
Yeah.
Dude, let it breathe. Why
Yeah.
can't we let fucking
Well,
games
also,
breathe
like-
anymore?
Also, like, I mean, I wonder. Part of me thinks it's just going to be like Minecraft Proteus in space, and everyone's going to hate it. But it's like, if you just like live in this world and want to like walk around and fly around and have fun, like that's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Like if all you want to do is just like chill, it's going to be the greatest game ever made if that's what it is, you know? I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
It's got to have a little something.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just funny. It kind of reminds me of Pokemon Go in a way because it's funny to see people create a game it's more kind of like an experience that you go through,
Yeah.
and not necessarily something where it's just like, all right, here I go, I have 4 hours left. And it's just like, no, just kind of add this game to your life and see what happens. And people like attack it like they would other games, like they would a game that like, oh, I know I can beat this in a certain amount of time. You know, it's like this game's not giving me the satisfaction I want. And it's like, well, I think the problem's you, not necessarily the game.
Can I shake your hand?
Here we go.
I think Ben and I found our new
You
show.
found it.
The handshake
Agreeing.
happened. Yeah, it was incredible.
All right.
PlayStation or PC?
Enjoy it while it lasts, Ben.
Probably PlayStation, but if the PC version is significantly better, I would totally get the PC version.
When will we know? Because I can't decide which one I should get.
I hear you, man. I really hear you here. I think
You're not
it's
going
going
to
to
bump
run
into
better on
anybody.
PC.
You're not going to be playing that co-op.
You're not like going to see anyone. Is it going to run better on the computer or is it going to run better on the PlayStation?
We'll know in 6 hours.
Yeah.
No, we don't. It will run better on the computer. That's like, why even debate that?
But I got a projector on my PS4.
Oh, well then the project. It's,
No, man,
it's
it's got
about the
12
vibes.
feet wide.
It's about the vibes you want.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Plus, when
so
they come
sorry,
out,
Ian.
plus the PlayStation VR is going to be cheaper than a Vive, so there's that.
This game will not be on a VR headset.
Oh, it will for
So
sure.
there's some kind of bet involved?
Yes.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about this show. That we're
So Sean Murray, the creator of this game, I'm not sure if creator is his official title, but he is the person like at the forefront of this entire project.
doing. Member of a
from the
small
beginning.
person team. Yes,
Yeah.
small team.
His Twitter handle is @NoManSky. We're going to look at that Twitter handle at this time next week. We're going to look at the most recent tweet that is not a reply, doesn't start with @. He does reply to himself sometimes. We'll take those. Any tweet that doesn't start with an @ symbol. How many retweets will that tweet have? The most recent tweet from @NoManSky from Sean Murray, the day that No Man's Sky is finally released. Jones.
Tree Fitty.
350 retweets. Ian Hink.
1.9 thousand.
1.9 thousand.
1900.
1,634.
Going low.
Wow, those are very close.
Going low.
I
Oh.
said 1.5 thousand. And
I got the high vote.
Don's
You did
bets.
it. Oh, good job getting Don's bet, Kyle.
Here we go. Don's crystal ball. That's not legible. I wish it were.
Did you draw that?
Don did.
I love Don.
We're
Don is
opening
the
Don's
greatest.
crystal ball.
He's the best of us all.
1,241.
Nice.
Let's lock those in. Okay, so there's a chance it could be 350. I really
I'm
like that you
going
got
low
that
red.
low one.
Cool.
Unfortunately, we both have the low one, I think, Jones. It'll just be about between the two of us. So we have an issue. We have a really big issue about last week's bet.
Ooh.
This is unprecedented. I blew
Ooh.
it. And so we're all going to have to come to some sort of compromise on how to handle
Full
this.
disclosure, we didn't know. You guys didn't know about this, right?
I didn't know
the
any- I
issues
don't
with
even
the
know
bet.
what the bet is.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what the problem was.
So here's the wording of last week's bet. Batman the Telltale series releases next week. At this point next week, how many words will be in the most recent customer review for the Xbox 360 version on Amazon.com? The physical version of this game is not yet for sale. That won't happen until September this year. So there's no reviews. There's not a single review. Do we go with the lowest? Because there's no reviews, there's 0 words. Do we go with the person who voted the lowest? Because I effed up so bad, do we just give 2 votes, 2 points to the Green Lizards? Do we give 1 point to the Green Lizards?
I mean, do you have the word count on a digital review somewhere?
No, because the bet was on the 360. You know, if we said how does it doing on Steam, that'd be a whole different number. Everybody would bet differently.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that messed up, do we
Yeah.
want to give the Green Lizards the chance to pick a console to have the review taken from?
I mean, we
I
could go to
think-
Steam is all we could do, really. Or I guess, Steam is really the only one that would have words attached to it.
I think it's not exactly fair to give this team a point. I think it's maybe fair to remove a point from your team.
Ooh, I like that.
Because you messed it up.
yeah.
Because you messed it up.
Let's
That's
remove
what happens,
a point.
Kyle.
Yeah. If I mess up like that, where the bet becomes negated, we remove a
One
point.
of my hard-earned wins.
No, that's one of my wins, Jones. Well, I win sometimes too.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that was one of my wins.
No, it's one of my wins.
I don't know.
I'll say, this
Feels
is
like
one of
one of
my
mine.
wins. No. Your wins are still there. We'll take away
that
one of my
hurts.
wins. Ian, I totally agree with that. I think that's the right way to handle that.
seems
You're
like
not going to have
the
many wins left if you keep doing this, Kyle.
So that brings us to Green Lizard 6. Red Eagles 13.
The first in history. Decrease of a point?
Decrease of a point, the first in history. But I think I like that. That's a really good way to handle that. So, that's pulling the lead up to only 7. A little high five for the Green Lizards. Let's do some Patreon
That's what it
plugs
is, right?
before we close the show. What's up?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, well, nobody wins. So who do we split up?
They'll split it. These two will split it.
Oh, they'll split it. Okay, fine.
Oh, okay.
Should I be here anymore? Are we done?
Well, I'd like for you to help me promote Patreon.
It's your house.
Yeah.
I'm so incensed at this
Yeah.
cocky bet creator.
That's a total goof. There's so many reasons that I should not have made the bet that. You know what I mean? There's so many ways you could have checked that. What I do is I look at upcoming game releases and I'm like, I'll come up with a bet for that game, and I didn't even look at dates. You know, that's what happened.
I forgive you.
Jones,
I know.
what's Easy Allies? What are we?
Easy Allies is a group of guys that hang out and talk about games and make shows about games and stream games. We have all sorts of fun places you can find us. Right now, you're listening to us potentially on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We also have 2 YouTube channels: youtube.com/EasyAllies and Easy Allies places where we put up a lot of our streaming archives. We are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/EasyAllies. Most importantly, we are on Patreon, which is a wonderful website which helps people get their creative endeavors up off the ground. We got up off the ground and are now flying way high in the sky, and it's great every last minute of it. Patreon.com/EasyAllies. So thank you to everyone that is already supporting us. If you are not supporting us, we invite you to go check it out and see what you can get.
I like this podcast a lot. Is there any incentive for me to donate $5 a month on Patreon.com?
If you were to do so, you
Yeah.
would receive the podcast 2 days early, which would be Wednesday afternoon-ish.
Sure.
Around that time, you'd be able to listen to and watch the Easy Allies podcast.
Well, that's pretty neat.
early.
Sure.
Otherwise, you're lining up with all the rest of the chumps on Friday.
I hear it's better that way.
Those chumps I love.
Nobody's a chump on Friday. That's not fair.
They're lovely chumps, but they're chumps.
The lovely chumps.
We're the lovely chumps.
Hey,
We're the lovely
chumps.
chumps. We're the lovely chumps. It's a cool band.
That's a good band. Also,
We want Bethesda to
EasyAllies.com.
make a Pokemon game. Sorry, what?
The lovely chumps absolutely want that Bethesda
They're
game.
writing the theme song for it.
Oh, yeah.
It took
new
Bethesda
Pokemon
to
theme.
make a good
Catch 'em
Pokemon
up.
game.
They finally got it right.
It's
The
not
graphics
for
are
kids
pretty good.
anymore.
Oh my god.
Dark and gritty Pokemon is where it belongs.
The lovely chumps. Stop it, you monsters. Okay, so Ben and Ian, you're gonna have to split the responsibilities of a winner. So one of you will get to share your Twitter handle. One of you will get to promote any Easy Allies video you choose. One of you will get the final word on anything you've disagreed with or want to reiterate. And one of you will get to sign off with a trademark sign off. How are you splitting this?
The only thing I will give you everything else. Can I have the plug?
Ooh.
The video?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one Ian wanted.
That's the one I wanted.
Well, if you plug Ian's video, then I think
Wait a
we're fine.
minute. Can I make a compromise in this unique situation?
Okay.
What if we both disregard everything else, but we both get to plug a video?
I'll
Is that-
allow it.
Okay.
Or we do need
or
to sign
did we
off.
disagree with anything?
We
'Cause
do
I
need
think
to
we
sign
do.
off.
We both plug.
Okay.
Don't disagree with anything.
Nobody gets a final word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
We
No
don't
Twitter
need it.
handles.
So one will do his Twitter handle, one will do sign off. We need a sign off. One
I
of
can
you
do my
have-
sign off.
Okay,
I have a sign
so
off.
let's hear Ben's Twitter handle.
My Twitter handle is @benmore035.
Okay, what are you
Oh,
promoting?
he's
What video
poor
we're
head
looking
now.
at?
So last Saturday, I completed a bet that I'm very
yes.
proud of.
Yes, yes.
It was an Easy Allies podcast bet.
Yeah.
I said that there was going to be a new Battletoads game announced at E3. There was not, so I had
Do you
to
remember
play...
what Jones said? He said there would not be a Battletoads game at
Right,
E3. He
right.
said no way.
He made that bet with
Oh,
me.
You said the
Oh,
opposite.
yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Kyle. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What?
I still haven't pre-ordered Titanfall 2.
Uh-oh.
What was
It's
that?
really good
the
that Ben
result
brought
of?
this up then.
Yeah,
Unlike
no,
some
I
other
just,
allies,
Yeah.
I stay true to my
What
bets.
what bet was that you? Why do you have to do that?
That was me and Jones confidently saying, they'll just cut straight to footage. There's no way they'll introduce the world at Titanfall 2. And they
Oh,
absolutely
right.
did
They
it.
totally
Yeah,
did.
in Titanfall 2. Anyway, Ben, you said there would absolutely be a Battletoads game announced at E3.
Yep.
That didn't come to pass.
Yep. And my punishment was I had to play through the first 3 levels of the NES Battletoads.
Yes.
And I am very happy because it took me almost 2 hours, but I didn't use any warps or cheats. I didn't watch any videos ahead of time.
Yeah.
I just did it. People in chat did have some suggestions that I took, so I wasn't totally blind.
But you
beat
did it with
it.
an
You beat
Xbox
the-
360
I did it
controller.
I did it with an Xbox 360 D-pad. I mapped
Yeah.
it, so I had to use it. I own the game, but my
Yeah.
copy of it is in Iowa, and so I emulated it. And I was using like Nestopia, and I mapped the buttons to the 360 D-pad, and it was a nightmare. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's really fun to
But
watch.
it's a fun nightmare to watch.
It's a very fun stream to watch. It's not as fun as watching it live when you don't know if Ben will actually pull it off.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, what an event, though.
Were you
Ben,
getting
I'm
pretty
proud of you, man.
like frustrated?
What's that?
Did he get frustrating?
There.
you
so-
can see frustration.
Yeah, it's what I did going into it. Never mind. Just watch it.
Just watch it.
A lot of things
It's beautiful.
happen. Yeah.
And I get to pitch one?
Yeah.
Ian and Don Go to Hell was the most recent easy update. It's narrative. I liked it. I think you might too.
You're promoting this bashfully.
I'm Sean Murraying it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it came out pretty well. And
Okay.
there's some cool VFX in it. And like it's pretty funny because like I don't know, if you know me at all, like I'm pretty like easy update is called easy update for a reason. It's very seat of my pants, you know, like I'm making it up mostly as I go.
Yeah.
And this wasn't too much of an exception to that. I wrote a shot list.
That's pretty good.
And we kind of
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
winged the rest of it, you know,
Yeah.
and it came out pretty good. So I would check it out if I were me.
Cool.
Take us out.
Take us out of
Oh,
here.
thanks for watching, everybody. Good night and good game.